My whole issue is, why would y'all name them woodchucks if you know they can't chuck wood? Like, what's the purpose of that? And then, to add insult to injury, you make a whole tongue twister or nursery rhyme talking about the very thing that you know they can't do. Talking about if they could chuck wood. You know they can't. You know they can't. So why are you talking about it? And then you got everybody else talking about it, making them the butt of the joke. The craziest part about all of this is that woodchucks can do a whole bunch of other things with wood. And yet the one thing that everybody is focused on is the fact that they can't chuck it, even though that's what their name is. They never said they could. So why would y'all call them that? Like, no, they never said they could. Y'all said that they were woodchuckers. So now they got to get made fun of because what y'all called them, they can do so many other things, but y'all want to focus on what they can't do. I don't like that. I don't understand that. To be honest, that feels like a whole motif for how people go about looking at your skills and the things that you're good at. That's like being like, oh, okay, well, you can't dunk, but, if you were taller, like, how would your vertical be? You know I can't dunk, so why are you even asking me that? I don't have the statistics or the data to answer that question. Why can't we focus on what it is that I can do?
TBTL.
Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is?
It's Friday. Gonna get down on Friday.
Everybody's looking forward to the weekend.
Well, what are you?
I'm a chicken lady. Can I get you a beer? Would you like to just drink out of the toilet?
A beer.
Okay, serve yourself.
No, definitely. Yeah. Literally, no. Yeah. No. For sure, no. Yeah.
Do you have monkeys running around the house?
No, they have their own house.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
In 1971, Bill Gates invented Microsoft. Wouldn't it be cool if I could remember my dingus password for my email?
All right. Hello, good morning, and welcome everyone to a Friday edition of TBTL, the show that just might be too beautiful to live.
Gotta have that root beer.
My name's Luke Burbank. I am your host.
I'm so excited about this show.
Coming to you from the Madrona Hill studio.
Ma.
Whoa, hold on.
It's just
Wait a minute.
beautiful.
All right, calm down, Aaron Covey. Coming to you from the Madrona Hill studio, perched high above the mighty Columbia. Now it's time for that.
Oh, Ma, Pa, it's just beautiful.
Absolutely gorgeous Friday here, the 10th of July, as we are getting ready to head out to Valley City, Ohio, for the TBTL-a-thon.
I'm seriously excited. I'm kind of shy, but mostly excited.
We are mostly excited. Of course, we still have to bring you episode 4,768 in a collector series. That's today's program.
Let the fun begin.
With all kinds of stuff to talk about, Thon-related, other things. Let's just get the cast of characters here on the line right away. This guy's the longest-running co-bro of the show, maybe best known for his depictions of the tall ships.
This shiny guy always worries.
He's got a lot on his plate. He's Andrew Walsh, and he's joining me right now. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning, Luke. How you feeling?
I'm feeling okay, but I'll be honest, it's because I've got another link in my travel chain before I get to Valley City. And so I've kind of got a few things. Oh, by the way, let's also welcome TBTL employee numero uno, John Sklarov. I would say his skills are sort of almost unlimited. As are his responsibilities around the TBTL-a-thon. This is really his time to shine. John, welcome to the program.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good. Good to see you.
Pretty good.
I'm actually, right when we're done recording today, I'm running to the airport to fly down to Sonoma for a couple of days to do this kind of birthday celebration for a friend with Becca. And then I'm heading to Valley City on Sunday. But you're heading, Andrew, are you heading out Saturday morning? When are you leaving?
Yeah, I'm heading out early tomorrow morning. Okay. I mean, the flight isn't especially early. The flight's like 9 maybe, but that means I like to get there 2 hours early, especially for a work trip where there's so much riding on this, and knowing there's only one direct flight to Cleveland from Seattle a day. Like, I'm going to get there nice and early. I'll have some radio equipment in my bag, which could also complicate things. I have a little news update for John that I feel like he'd be interested in if you want to see this signy guy get nervous. The box of equipment that I shipped to my folks that was supposed to be there on Wednesday has still not arrived yet. And when I use the tracking number, USPS just keeps saying, oh, it's going to get there on time. And I keep telling my phone, but on time was 2 days ago. And when I say I tell my phone that, I'm just yelling at my phone, so it's not accomplishing anything. So, did you pack any like cans with string attached to them or anything that we can use just as a backup plan?
Yeah, that's the most technologically advanced way to do a podcast these days, isn't it?
It's not ideal. It's not ideal, but we got to be thinking, oh, what happened there? What's happening to Luke?
I
Keep
don't
talking.
know.
I'm just working on some
Instagram.
stuff. I'm trying to figure out ways to make this podcast more visually successful, and I thought maybe if I integrated these
googly
special-
eyeglasses, or
does
no,
that-
they're
that close. That
Oh,
close.
interesting. These are special
Does that
novelty
solve
glasses.
our technology issue?
It doesn't help at all, but I just
Okay.
was getting
It,
bored with the shipping
introduces
conversation.
it introduces a new technological.
Should I bring
issue.
these to Ohio?
You look like Christopher Lloyd at the end of Who Framed Roger Rabbit when he's revealed.
He was even in that movie.
Good
He's
call.
the judge.
Yeah.
I think the way they're supposed to work is, see, the problem is I have these headphones on, but they have a little string that's attached to the eyelids on this thing, and there's a clip. You're supposed to kind of like cinch this to the back of your head so that if you move your head a little bit, it causes the eyes to close, the eyelids to come down. So you can just be like talking to someone, and then you just like, I'm pulling the string, but you just suddenly move your head, and you close the eyelids on it. Sorry, I didn't mean for that to become part of the conversation. I was legitimately just
no,
testing
but I have
them
more
out.
questions now. Like, one, why and where? Like, do you have those? Like,
I saw them on TikTok, and I thought they looked cool. They
Okay.
were $8, and I literally thought maybe I'll use these on TBTL. No, it'll be funny.
That's pretty good.
Now, this is going to sound in some way like victim blaming, Andrew, and I really don't mean it to, because as I say a lot around the program, you and John are doing so much work to make this thon happen. You do so much more work to make TBTL happen. And of course, there's no reason I would have done the exact same thing. There's no reason why you wouldn't have done this. But for some reason, I was always picturing this as a FedEx delivery gone awry. This is a USPS delivery gone awry. Is there any difference? Is one of them more or less reliable? Is there, I don't know. I guess for some reason I was imagining this gear as being sent FedEx, but you sent it USPS. And do they just use FedEx if you pay USPS, but then they just kind of like, subcontract out the gig?
No, I don't think so. I think they deliver it themselves. I don't know if they're. I use USPS just because I was there already picking up stuff. It's where our post office box is. I was picking up a bunch of stuff. I was shipping stuff out. It just sort of made sense to me. Does USPS have a bad? I've never had an issue with it before. I spent the extra money to make, because there's no guarantees unless you pay like out the nose. You have to buy them a special airplane or something like that. But like there are various tiers, and I bought one of the more expensive tiers so that it would get there earlier than we needed. Like Wednesday, I thought will give us tons of time. Now here we're talking on Friday morning, and so we'll see what happens. I mean, it doesn't take down the whole operation. Like some of the actual key critical things we're doing. I'm really sorry about this. My dog is in here, and she's found something to chew on that she shouldn't be chewing on. I'm trying to fix that. I would have mentioned
that before the show, we were kind of dialing this up, and John was like, okay, I'll be there in 10 minutes. I'm walking the dogs. And then Andrew was like, just give me 5 minutes. I'm going to take this dog outside. And I felt very left out. I'm the only member of the staff that doesn't have a dog right now.
Yeah.
And I think that's unfair.
Have you checked the roof? Are you sure you don't have a dog right now?
You can never be too sure around here.
Anyway, no, she's being a good girl. She found something to chew on the bottom of my chair, and I was distracted there for a minute. But anyway, I don't know. I mean, maybe USPS has a lesser reputation.
That sounded no. That sounded like I had a experience, and I was like, Andrew, how could you use USPS? That isn't even really what I thought. I guess I just because I don't go to the post office very much, because I am always returning stuff that I bought online at the UPS store in my neighborhood. So if I've sent things, it's through UPS or maybe FedEx or whatever. But I mean, I have faith. I have faith in the United States Postal Service that they are going to get this stuff to where it needs to be in time for us to take use of it, make use of it.
I will say, as the person that does the most shipping on the behalf of Too Beautiful to Biz, I use the post office almost religiously. Like anyone that ever gets a thon gift, that's all coming from the post office. I know the folks that are over there kind of. Some are a hassle to work with. Some are really great. And for whatever reason, this specific instance because I had to ship some technology to Mr. Robert Walsh's house as well.
Yes, we're shipping things to my parents' house. I don't know if I made that clear. And honestly, you ship stuff that is much more critical now that I'm sort of inventorying it. And that has arrived.
And that I did use FedEx for whatever reason. I think it's because I didn't have the right box, and going to the post office and getting the box, that just felt like more of a hassle. So I just went to FedEx and I said, "Here's my object. These I already measured the dimensions. Do you have a box for this?" And they actually packaged it and bubble wrapped it and sent it out.
I like us using USPS because I like supporting it as an organization. I feel like it's, and also the fact that these other companies oftentimes use the USPS because that's the last mile. There are these other companies, whether it's Amazon or even FedEx and UPS. I think that there are some places that they don't really service, so they lean on the United States Postal Service, which is supported by all of us, the taxpayers, to get stuff into areas where it doesn't make financial sense for them to drive their trucks and stuff like that. So I'm a big fan and defender of the idea of the USPS.
It's capitalism and privatization until we need socialism. That's what. That's how a successful corporation works.
Well, we're going to be asking the listeners next week. That's why we're all gathered here today to kind of talk about the TBTL-a-thon that's happening next week to help us pay the bills that we do have to pay to keep this operation
Speaking
running.
Of socialism,
and the truth of the matter is, this is John, let's talk about the conversation that you and I were having via email a couple of days ago when we got a notice that our PO box is up for renewal again. And I remember when I first ordered that PO box or purchased it or whatever, rented it, filled out the paperwork, I was surprised at how expensive it was. Now, back then we were with American Public Media, so it was sort of I didn't feel the impact quite as much, but I remember being like, wow, PO boxes can be expensive. And John, you pointed out that we, for the past 2 years, quite a bit, Luke, and for the last 2 years, there's been a 10% increase year over year for 2 years now. You pointed that out, which is quite a bit. So, I don't know if that speaks to the state of the post office right now, if it's related to this administration, but I do think that our listeners should know that even just having this PO box is not exactly a cheap affair.
I know you guys know I don't have strong political opinions or thoughts, but there was this act.
It's like kind of a who would you like to have a beer with kind of voter, right?
Yeah. Or a few on the back deck of a Wisconsin Airbnb. I'm blanking on the name of it now. I'm trying to figure it out, but it's basically called the USPS Responsibility Act or something like that, fiscal responsibility, something like that. This was a law that was passed under George W. Bush, and it's the reason the post office is so screwed. And this was a bipartisan act, so this is not saying Bush and Republicans, but if you look into this history of this, it was the act that very famously at the time mandated that the USPS have in funding reserves the pension payout for 99 years of budgeted and put aside and ready to go. Basically saying all your employees, for the next 99 years, you have to have billions of dollars that you can't touch because that's to fund the pension, and that's in reserve. So that's one example of one of the things that they put into this act. Just very ludicrous handcuffs on how the post office can spend its money and how it uses its money in benefit in the ultimate service of corporations like FedEx and UPS and all these other kind of companies because of the donors of Congress. So it's just it is very intentional by Congress. I'm getting way too technical.
Is it possible that the TBTL through the thank you gifts that we mail out using USPS through the PO box that we've retained, is it possible that we are the largest supporter of the United States Postal Service in America, that this humble podcast, that TBTB is keeping the USPS afloat, essentially, to the degree that it is afloat?
That's my dream and my goal and aspiration in life, Luke.
Now, you've said some of the people, John, are helpful and some of them are less helpful. Would you like to name any of the less helpful people here for the record? Would you like to put any of the people at the local St. Paul post office on blast?
There's two people specific I will not name as unhelpful, but I will say Angie is super helpful. If you were into Angie at the West 7th USPS, she is the best civil servant I've ever come across in my life.
And don't forget, one of our listeners actually works at the post office that we use, and it will sometimes slip us notes into the PO box.
We can't get a discount.
Well, I don't know. We'll see.
Could we set up something that's a little like, I don't know, it's a little side hustle? Like maybe it's not officially a P.O. box, but it's where that listener just kind of puts our stuff when it comes in. And then,
right.
kind of
Exactly.
gives it to us when we come on in. A little.
Or maybe I put little treats in the P.O. box that he can access from the P.O. I'd never had a P.O. box before, and I was pretty fascinated by it. You know how, maybe you don't know how, but for my life, when I would go to the grocery store and I'd grab some milk out of the cooler, I didn't really think about what was behind the milk, right? But then you get to a certain age and you're like, oh, there's a whole world back there. There are people walking around in this cooler, restocking these things from the back.
It's where 9-year-old Luke is walking through to use the bathroom.
Yes,
at the grocery
exactly. You
store.
go through those plastic slats that hang from the ceiling like a car wash, and you're just like, why? Why
This is
do
some
I have
Narnia
to do
shit.
this here? Well, then you start thinking that now when I grab milk, I'm always like kind of trying to get a little peek back there. Well, the P.O. boxes are kind of similar. You just open it up and you get your mail and you don't think too much about it. But then you're like, wait a second. If I open this up and I just kind of crouch a little bit, I can see back into the inner workings of this post office a little bit. And so what I'm saying is not unlike that movie, The Lake House, which I have a vague grasp on what it's about. Yeah, I can put little notes, and I'm blanking. I want to say Evan, or I think it's Eric who works there. Let's go with Eric. Eric, if that's not your proper name, maybe we can change that. Yeah, exactly. You and I can pass notes and little treats through the P.O. box, and then you can do a little math on the back end that maybe knocks some zeros off of this price.
Just saying, help your favorite podcast out. Now, because I'm assuming is there tracking on this box?
Yeah, I keep clicking on it, and it just keeps.
Where is it telling you the box is?
Well, that's what this is why it's incredibly unhelpful right now. So here are the entire transaction history is the day I dropped it off. It says USPS in possession of item. That was on January 2nd at 4:59 p.m. And then it departed the post office almost exactly 90 minutes later at 6:25. Wow. And then it arrived at a USPS facility, but in Seattle the next day on July 3rd. Then on July 5th.
So it went to the big processing facility.
And then on July 5th, which was what? That was Sunday. On July 5th, it says in transit and arriving on time. And I'd like to remind you that on time would have been Wednesday of this week. Wednesday night, we kept on opening this thing and tracking it. On Wednesday night, and it was already almost 10 o'clock Eastern time, I want to say, which is, Ohio's Eastern time. It was getting pretty late, and there was a notice that said, your item, it has been delayed, and it's going to get there a little later than expected, but will still be there on Wednesday. And I'm looking at this, and again, it's like 7 o'clock or something our time. I'm like, that's already 10 o'clock. Are you telling me that somebody's going to roll up to the Walsh residence in Westlake, Ohio, and drop this off in the wee hours of 10 p.m. or 11 p.m.? That doesn't sound right to me. The next day, I log back in to say, hey, did they ever drop that thing off? That message that said it's going to arrive only a little bit later than usual is totally gone. And it just says, oh, don't worry about it. It doesn't say don't worry about it. It sort of says don't worry about it. It says your package is moving within the USPS network and is on track to be delivered on the expected delivery date. And that's it. Like the last update we have is from July 5th.
It's already missed.
It's now missed by 2 days. The expected date was Wednesday, and that's what I paid for.
Andrew, I just noticed, because we have the same, you sent me the tracking information.
Yeah.
We were both, as you mentioned, we were talking about this. I just opened it up, and I don't know if you noticed this, but I'm now for the first time seeing across the top of the tracking page.
Yeah.
There's a red banner. It says alert impacts from the World Soccer Tournament.
Oh, come on.
Which they don't say World Cup or FIFA, which I think is funny. Alerts impacts from the World Soccer Tournament held in major cities throughout the U.S. from June 11th through July 19th, 2026 may delay final delivery of your mail and packages. Read more.
They've been saying that. Of course, they've been saying that. That's been on their website for a while. But Seattle is one. But this says it was in transit, arriving on time, which makes me think it's out of. And I don't think Cleveland is hosting
package I ordered
events.
to Lumen Field at 5 p.m. on Monday is going to be. That's also. Give me a Brock USPS. We need some congressional oversight on this agency, as far as I'm concerned, because
we need repeal on congressional.
Because I that excuse bothers me so much. What are the real chances that somebody has ordered something or is having something delivered through the USPS and the mail carrier or the delivery person is going to be attempting to deliver it, and a sea of Scottish soccer fans comes flooding down the street, and they're on the wrong side of the ocean of Scottish soccer fans, and they can't deliver the thing to them. I just feel like it's a total CYA move.
I think we're looking at this the wrong way, Luke.
Yeah.
What if Mr. Bob Walsh hears a doorbell ring and he goes to answer the door, and Erling Haaland is handing in his box?
Oh my goodness,
Terrifying.
That would be
terrifying experience.
He's wearing the
He would
helmet.
Andrew, if you find your dad in the basement cowering when you get to town, it's because he had an Erling Haaland run in.
Are you
in real life?
John? I don't know if you're still on the page or not, but there's also it's kind of in less severe font. It does mention that in an effort to save water, we will not be giving you fresh towels every day unless requested.
Why is there a picture of a koala bear on that? It's not even the same. That's not even related to the ocean.
Data centers need that water.
I'm just trying to think of all of the things that irritate you, Luke.
Well, only when I just think that the chances of the World Cup interrupting mail delivery, other than an extremely specific set of circumstances where you're trying to mail something to a physical location that happens to be literally next to where like a stadium is having one of the matches, that is the only scenario in which I can imagine the World Cup interrupting USPS activities. And for them to be putting that up on the website, to me, just feels like a catch-all. Like anything that goes sideways, they can be like, well, it's Erling Haaland's fault.
Yeah, because what would be the logistical issues there? I'm sure we're missing some of them. I'm not quite as quick to dismiss these things as you are, but like I guess it would be just like logistics around road closures and excessive traffic and just general congestion in some parts. But like you say, that would be relegated to the actual hot spots of the actual events themselves, not even here in North Seattle, right? Is there anything else that we're missing that could actually be
are the matches
considered?
Done in Seattle?
They are now,
yeah. So I would think that the circus has sort of moved on. John, quick pivot.
Yeah.
Is Norway now your team? Who are you rooting? Or maybe you were never rooting for the U.S. Who are you rooting for these days to win the whole thing?
Yeah, I'm mostly indifferent, but you've gotten me on the Haaland train. I think he seems, again, just from what I've learned about him as a human, he seems really cool
actually
and fun.
so great.
And so, like, yeah, I'll be happy if they win. I'm mostly indifferent to the whole thing, but sure.
The team that I need to see lose is Argentina because they got the biggest scam call
I heard
of the
about this.
tournament
Please.
against Egypt. And Argentina is a perennial powerhouse. They've won it many times. They've got Messi, who again doesn't seem like a bad dude. Egypt had the most incredible goal where it was basically the length of the field. The two defenders for Egypt kind of pulled the ball away from a Argentinian player down by their own goal, and then just ran as fast as you've ever seen anyone run with the ball down the field, pass it to another guy who shot an incredible goal. The whole thing was called back because allegedly there was a foul committed way back near the Egypt goal, which allowed them to get this little ball and then run all the way down the field with it. And it's this whole VAR thing that's, they've got this video assist recording for soccer that actually overrules the guys on the field. The officials on the field are not allowed, like they do not have the final call. There's a video recording, they're basically their instant replay has the final call. And this is one of those things where it activated the video recorder because if there is a foul that allows for a goal to be scored, it is technically a violation. But no one thought, what if the foul was a minute before the goal and about 100 yards away from the event?
It's like when there's a big kick return in football and the guy's on the 10-yard line and then down at the 50 there's some erroneous holding or something like that.
Yeah, which is completely on the opposite side of the field, had nothing to do with the play. You just get so annoyed with that kind of stuff. So anyway, I've now decided that I'm definitely rooting against Argentina because they've already gotten lucky and they've won too much. I'm rooting against England. Sorry, Paul and other English listeners, because they've won it too many times. And that pretty much leaves for me Norway.
I think I did see some. Is it pretty unusual for a coach and a player to actually call out the refs in a World Cup event like this? Because I saw some headlines about it seems sort of shocking that they were blatantly saying that they were screwed over in this exact event.
I think it is, and you're talking about the team from Egypt, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think they were rightfully pretty ticked about this whole thing. Well, back to what we're rightfully ticked about. I don't know, Andrew. I was going to say, I feel confident that this item will make it, this box will make it to its destination, but I'm also nervous that it's entering into Brazil territory. You know what I mean? Sort of like
Brazil got knocked out of the tournament.
I think is it Ronaldo who's delivering the box?
Right,
It's
Terry Gilliam.
It's right. Well, that's I knew he had a second career after movie making. I didn't realize he was working with the USPS. It's just this idea that we're getting into this kind of like nonsense text, like good news, your package will be delivered at the time that the USPS has said it will deliver it.
Yeah,
Where's the
that
package?
bothers me.
Your package is within the USPS realm of influence.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Good news, your package will be delivered along the timeline that the USPS has deemed necessary and prudent. Okay, but where is, like, it's starting to get into like weird nonsense talk, which could mean like someone opened the box and took out the cables and went on a crazy cable spree.
Well, I do wonder about that because this was
that'd be one of the worst crimes in America.
Eric, if you start a podcast tomorrow, I know exactly what happened. It was a very heavy box, by the way. Like, it was a lot of equipment in there, and so now here's the deal. The truth of the matter is, I guess I don't want to exaggerate for drama, although I probably should. Like, a lot of the critical things that I am bringing to actually keep the podcast on there, like the audio board we know is there. That's what John shipped.
That's taped to your body when you fly, right?
Yeah, and it doesn't cause any alarms. No, John shipped that. We have an audio board that John shipped, and that is in Ohio, so that's huge. Luke and John, you guys are both bringing your own mics. I had shipped my mic, but if I don't get any confirmation that this has shown up in Ohio, I'll just bring another mic. There are several kind of pieces of equipment here that I was always needing to bring anyway, the things that connect our computers to the audio board. So I don't think that we are SOL if this box doesn't arrive, but we will be IOL, which is inconvenienced out of luck. Like, it's gonna make life harder, but I still think we can do the show, and it's gonna make my travels harder because I'm gonna have to carry more backup equipment that I had shipped off. Like, I had bought a little piece of equipment so that I could have one here in my studio these days and then ship one to Ohio so I don't have to travel with it, if that makes sense. But now I'm going to have to, like, kind of be loaded down with more equipment if this thing doesn't show up.
So if by Saturday morning you haven't gotten confirmation that it's made it, Andrew, then you're going to have to take evasive action and then, like, schlep more stuff?
Yeah, more like Friday, because I got to pack all this stuff up on Friday. Like I say, I'm probably leaving here around...
You mean today?
Yes, that's what I mean, by this afternoon. As we record this on a sunny Friday afternoon. By the way, can you hold up today's newspaper, Luke?
Yes.
Hello and welcome to Top Story.
All right. As folks are hearing this, depending on when they've downloaded the show, what part of the day, the newsletter for this week may have not gone out yet, Andrew. When's the newsletter going out on today?
The newsletter will... The newsletter will go out. When we're done recording here, I'll post the show and maybe then wait about an hour or two for folks who are hearing our voice right now. And you're really excited to find out what we're going to be giving away during the TBTL-a-thon this year. You'll have to wait till Monday unless you sign up for the TBTL newsletter, where all will be revealed shortly. So sign up. It's not too late yet.
Well, if you sign up, go to tbtl.net, click on the newsletter button, and you will get signed up for the newsletter. And then we're going to reveal what the thank you gifts are. It's not going to be like the USPS. We're not going to say the TBTL-a-thon thank you gifts are both incredible and accessible. And then you go, what are they? And they go, they are currently being held in the TBTL-a-thon gift repository.
They've already arrived.
Exactly where they're supposed to be. They've already arrived. No, we will just tell you and have some, I think, visual evidence of what the thank you gifts are, and then you can find out sooner than anyone who waits till Monday for the big announcement. So sign up for the newsletter. Also, sign up for the Zoom for next week. What can you tell us about that, John?
Yeah, the Zoom, which is happening Wednesday evening, which is the 15th. You can sign up for free at the top of tbtl.net. There's a little button that says TBTL-a-thon Zoom party sign up. And so we talked about this a little bit more last week. it is a nostalgia hit. You get to sign up and then come hang out with us and your fellow tens and show off something that you've held on to throughout the years, maybe from move to move, maybe it's something you found at your parents' house, wherever it is, but something that represents like your youth, your childhood, or kind of a yesteryear sort of deal. And
Can we? Can we? Because I actually went down into my basement and got the thing that I'm going to bring. And it's not from my youth. It's just something that I have carried through like 4 moves for reasons that I don't fully understand. Of all the stuff that I've sort of divested of and given away or sold or what have you, I don't know why this particular item has just been following me around for as long as it has. So I think that's also a category.
Is it something that Bobo also has on the Howard Stern show?
It sure is.
I'm just curious. You've mentioned
like
that before.
I can't decide if I hope people got that joke or I hope they didn't get that joke. That's something you carry around inside your body, Andrew, I believe.
I only know that from you using this podcast to communicate with our friend Phyllis about that subplot.
But all that is to say, like, so it could be something from your childhood. I think we're kind of, the working title for this Zoom is Kids and Fantasy. But it could be something that you have from your childhood or just some object that you've been kind of carrying around for a while that is kind of interesting, or even if you're like, well, why have I been saving this particular spatula or salt shaker or God knows what? They're just those objects in our lives that just kind of stick around for some reason, and we think that's a good jumping off point conversationally.
Yeah, and to that point, Luke, like it's one of those things where, as always, you don't have to share something. You don't even have to be on screen. Just like if you guys want to come, hang out, be in the chat, use the chat function to talk to your friends, to communicate with us. That's all welcome, and we're excited for that too. It's just like it's a reason to hang out.
It's just a fun hang. It's always we've been doing this for what, like 5 years now, more than that now. We try to do at least one of these during each thon, and it's always just a fun hang. I feel like we've gotten into a good groove with them as well. At first we were sort of trying to figure out what we were doing. I mean, the one that we did in your parents' basement was fun in its own way,
with our
but
friend,
like May, right?
Our friend May helping with his correspondent duties.
And that what we had a technical issue that I had to solve on the fly. Remember, I freaked out and realized we had sort of a
that was like something out of the movie Die Hard, or one of those movies where like there's a bomb and it's like cut the blue wire, the red wire, it's counting down. We were counting down to the live broadcast. We started the live broadcast. There was some thing that was bedeviling us technically, and Andrew, your brain solved the problem. I want to say was it 10 seconds into you switched something.
We realized something. It was like I was feeding audio one way but not the other way, so listeners, I don't know, they couldn't hear us or we couldn't hear them maybe, and we were trying to communicate with them. But the whole thing, aside from that audio fluke, it also was a little bit like we were kind of presenting it like you and May were like presenting, like standing up and doing like an Antiques Roadshow thing, which was fun and interesting, but also maybe a little bit more ambitious. I will say that I like where we are with these now, where we're all
just ambition.
Yes, we're all just hanging. You know what I mean? And we're just kind of telling stories, and people are popping in if they want to pop in, and you can kind of come and go and say hello. So that's what we'll be doing.
We found the sweet spot. I think we figured out that it's not the production value from our end as far as like, doing stand-ups or having kind of, panning shots with the camera or whatever. It's the tens of listeners getting to chat with each other in the comment section and with us, and just kind of like being together virtually for people that are spread out all over the country and the world. And that's the fun of it. And we don't have to do anything particularly more sort of involved than that. Just getting together on a Wednesday night to just hang out and kind of, appreciate each other.
That's right.
Now, that's not the only big event next week. We are also going to be on Sunday, so a week from this Sunday, we will be part of the Valley City Frog Jump competition. This has been going on for this is the 65th year of this. And we're going to be getting a frog. We're going to be humanely caring for that frog, which is to say putting it in some kind of large tank or terrarium and giving it some water and some food, and and then putting a camera on it for a frog cam.
We're doing that,
And-
by the way. I wanted to ask you about the schedule. It kind of ties into the Zoom event, too. The Zoom, I don't think we gave the time. Maybe you did, John, but it's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern time. That's our time zone.
Yes, sorry, 5
and then
p.m.
5 p.m. West Coast, which is, 8. We're starting this little party at 8 p.m. And then that's Wednesday night. On Tuesday night, the Daves are taking us out to the marshes of Valley City to find our frog. We're not even meeting up with the Daves until 9:30 on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
How are you
Wow,
guys
late
feeling?
night.
How are you guys feeling about this party schedule that we've got lined up here?
Frog catching and Zooms.
Frog catching on Tuesday, zooming on Wednesday. I feel good about it. I'm wondering if it's too late for me. I have all of the second that we're done here, my suitcases are literally outside the Madrona Hill studio. They're not even in the house.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even have to go to the house, but I wonder if I should run down there and get another pair, and if I have the room for some frog catching shoes. Is it going to be marshy?
That's a good point.
I have 2 pairs of sneaks, and I have my running shoes, and I was going to use my running shoes, but if they get all soaked and jacked up, then I can't eagle soar the next morning in them.
Yeah.
What are y'all doing for
Well,
frog catching footwear?
It's on a golf course, right? Like number
Well-
one.
Well, I'm trying.
there's some
They said
questions
golf
about
course,
this.
but listen, and this is just
There are
this is a
water
little
hazards.
lesson of broadcasting here.
Okay.
You guys keep correcting me and saying it's on a golf
No,
course.
I'm asking.
And
I'm
I
asking.
keep saying it's on a marsh because I think a marsh is a
Yeah.
better story. And so
also think-
the
I
listener
also
should just
think-
know that when I say marsh, it's probably actually a golf course, but I'm going to keep saying
listen.
marsh because of the Imagineering of it
It
all.
is in
I
a marsh. Though.
apologize.
They're not. Listen, you don't go out to the 18th green and there's 30 frogs sitting on the green. Where do
Well,
you
there
get
might
them?
be.
You go down to the water where there is the kind of that marshy area where occasionally you'll see like a golfer hits the ball into the water, but they still want to play it. This is like the PGA Tour, and they got their pants rolled up and they're trying to hit out of some weird water hazard. That's where we're going to be.
Well, yeah. So,
So-
here's my thought, Luke. If you
Yes.
want to grab extra shoes, that'd be great because my thinking is, I think, especially during the thon, I do a lot of social media updates for TBTL so people can follow us on our journeys. So I imagine I'll be 5 to 10 yards behind you guys with a camera pointed on you guys.
Oh, I see. You'll be documenting this.
Yeah, so we can post some updates and show people. Nobody cares about John Sklarov
That's
catching
not
a
true.
frog.
That's not true.
that's
In
not true.
fact, this goes against my plan because I thought that you and Luke might take care of more of the frog handling things, given my squeamishness about handling frogs. Do you trust me to take the video and
I
let
think
you guys
what I'm
do
hearing
the frog
is John
handling?
is also trying to get out of handling the frog.
Well,
John
so
is
Luke,
trying to
what do you
frame himself as the camera person?
And Luke's
I
going to
don't
be in a
mind
Pizza
handling
Hut that
frogs.
night.
Yes.
I don't mind handling frogs, but you guys are TBTL. I'm just third wheel in here, and
That's
so,
not true.
Well,
But I do think Andrew. I think Andrew would like to not be the primary frog handler. Here's the thing. I don't even know how much frog handling needs to happen. I'm guessing there's a net involved. I'm
There
happy to hold
can
the
be.
net. I'm happy to. This is all. This is all will be revealed to us from the Daves.
Yeah.
When we go out to do this, but again, I'm mostly just thinking because I'm kind of the sort of fashion icon of the program. I'm trying to figure out the shoes.
Well, there's something that
situation.
I was thinking about a little bit about this yesterday because I have these slip-on shoes that I wear, and I just got a couple new pairs of them, but I'm still kind of rocking this really old nasty pair that I sort of do yard work and stuff in. But these are shoes that get ready to cringe here. These are sockless slip-in shoes that I wear with shorts. If you can picture that, that's my look. But it also isn't exactly the best thing to be wearing these types of shoes this often without socks. You know what I mean? It kind of
Right,
So
Your
I
dogs are
was putting these shoes on yesterday, thinking am I going to take these? This is probably maybe I take these really really old slip-on Sperry topsiders, and these are my frog catching shoes. But then I remembered something that I actually wanted to tell you guys about, which is we should also be thinking about mosquitoes. I don't think I'm going to be wanting to wear shorts and slip-on shoes when I'm out in these marshes. I think it's going to be pretty very mosquito-y at 9:30
Well, how about
in Valley
ticks?
City. Ticks, mosquitoes.
How about that? I mean,
So
that's
we
what
might
I'm.
want
That's what I would be
pants.
concerned
I
about.
assume we would do a tick check on each other when we get back to
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Airbnb.
Full body tick check. I'm looking forward to that.
I don't know
That's why
why
you play the game.
You were doing that when I was asleep on the last trip, John. That was a weird way for me to wake up.
Hey, did you have any ticks? No.
No, that's true.
You're welcome.
It was effective. I hadn't thought about that, but actually, like roaming around in the marshes of Valley City in short pants does seem like kind of a bad idea. Just you never
At
know what you're going to
9:30.
emerge with.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I assume we can just pick up, or the Daves will have some kind of deet or other kind of like. I am placing my trust entirely in the Dave's hands.
Yeah,
and
well-
expect that they will guide us and like not lead us astray and make sure that we're not going to like, wade into a bog or something and get eaten by an alligator. You know
Remember
what I mean? Like, I think
when?
we're okay?
Remember when we got to the Airbnb in Friendship, Wisconsin last year, and it was on a lake. It was very beautiful. But what I noticed was outside on the kind of picnic table, I feel like there was 4 cans of bug spray and DEET.
Right.
I was like, they're really into bug spray around here. And then we took one step outside, and I was like, oh, that's why. This is we're inside a cloud of mosquitoes at all times.
No,
if you're
that
outside on
reminds
that lake.
me of what I did. Remember, I left the door cracked for a little bit because I was just used to Seattle living, and you guys were like, Andrew, you left a swarm of mosquitoes in the house.
Hopefully,
Which explains the full body checks.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Hopefully, it will be a little less bad when we're out frog catching. But okay, so here's where I was going with all that. We're going to get a frog, and then we're going to need to name the frog. And for the last few weeks, we've been John's been kind of regaling us with some of the suggestions for frog names from the listeners. We've said that we're not going to decide on a name until we've got eyes on our frog, because it's a personal decision that exists within a family. And so, but we're open to ideas. Are there any last stragglers, any last suggestions for the name for our frog that is going to be ultimately participating in the competition, John?
Yeah, we did get a few more. Just not a ton, but I'll run through them quick. So, a listener, Luke, not Luke Burbank.
Oh, we've got other Lukes, huh?
Gave us
challenge
Jackie,
accepted.
Gave us Jackie Frogginson, which I thought that was nice.
Number
nice.
42.
Sure.
I don't think of Jackie Robinson as like a Cleveland person or anything, but
now we do already have a Jackie Jorp
Jump.
So this would be the second.
Got to be my
second
favorite,
Jackie.
I think, so far. I will say, and I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I heard from a listener who also was giving some kudos to something that I said on the fly last week, which was Dua Lipa. I don't know if that actually made our list, but
that's
I hope
on our
it's on.
favorites.
Okay,
I have
good,
that on
good.
the favorites.
Good,
you want me to read off the favorites real quick? Just
Yeah.
Jackie Jorp Jump, Mr. Frog Dabalina, Rosie the Ribbitor, Mr. Ribbits, Spark Plug, Leap Day William, Erling Hopland, and I love that one, and Dua Leaper. Those are the ones.
That's a pretty solid list.
That's a good list. Yeah.
It's funny, like as the legend of Erling Haaland grows at the World Cup, Erling Hopland kind of becomes sort of more and more relevant.
Just because think of the SEO when people are like so meshed in the World Cup, and then they find TBTL. Like we're gonna have a bunch of new listeners in Norway potentially.
Yeah,
really
that actually might be a good idea.
It's that Valley City Norway pipeline. They talk about.
Famously, very famous.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Jackie Frogginson from Luke. We got from listener Louis gave us Jeremiah, which brilliant.
The bullfrog.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, Jeremiah was the bullfrog.
But that song sort of gives you the bad feeling, though, right, Luke?
No, that one doesn't.
Isn't that the one that has two different parts? It's got Jeremiah was a bullfrog and then Joy to the World. You're okay with that one? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think I am, if I remember. I don't think I have
Joy.
I don't think I. Yes.
I guess I'm confusing it with maybe another song of that era that has like two very distinct parts of the song that are sonically different that you don't like. Maybe I'm thinking of a different one.
I believe that you're onto something, but I also believe that I don't remember the song. But that sounds like something.
I believe I don't remember too.
What's the Wings song where it's like two very different
Band
songs?
on the Run?
Band on the Run, yeah, right. Where
I
it's
like that one.
It
I like
starts
that
off one way and then it becomes a total.
I think you're thinking of a different song that is on Band on the Run. The one the Admiral Halsey notified me he had to have a bath or a cup of tea or something like that. Is that
That's
the
a
one?
Wings song?
That is from Band on the Run, and it's like 2 or 3 songs in one.
But Band on the Run itself.
Well, Band on the Run, though, does
is
have
also-
different time signatures
Oh,
and stuff like that.
okay. Sorry.
Sorry, not to distract too much. Okay, back to names here. Okay, so Jeremiah, Jackie Frogginson. Okay, listener Matt sent us 3, and I want to kind of give some. So we got Hoppy Gilmore, which solid,
That's
fine,
pretty good.
But then Matt also gave us Croker Cleveland. and which I did some digging on my own. So Grover Cleveland is from New Jersey, but was a distant cousin of the general who the city of Cleveland was named after. So there is some proximity to that as well. And then the other one that Matt gave us was William Howard Taftpole, and Howard Taft is from Cincinnati. So no,
Okay, sure, yeah. Ohio,
so
I
like,
think
so
might
there's also like Ohio connections.
And I think Ohio has the largest number of presidents of people who became president.
Are from Ohio,
or it's
4
up
years.
there or something. Yeah.
Yeah, you always hear that every cycle. Okay, so then we have 2 more. Listener Corey gave us, "Hey, I'm jumping here," which I enjoyed. But that's like
it's not really a name, but it's funny.
It's not really a name.
I
Yeah,
like that.
it's like if we were allowed to name the flights or something like that, I think it'd be a
Sure.
good one. All right, and then this one, I sent this to Luke because this was from a listener named Becca, and I emailed Luke. I'm like, "Is this your Becca?" Because Andrew is Pre-Frogtane.
Oh, Pre-Frogtane. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
And I did check the name. It's not my Becca, but it's funny that this other Becca would, because my Becca comes from a family of people who are very into running, and they all went to the University of Oregon. And like Steve Prefontaine is like there's 5 kids in their family. He's like the 6th child in the family. In fact, when I was just last weekend when we were staying down in Salem on Saturday night on the 4th of July, I actually stayed in Becca's brother Scott's childhood bedroom, and the number of Steve Prefontaine posters in that room are shocking. So the fact that there's another Becca out there saying Pre-Frogtane is pretty coincidental.
Pre-Frogtane is great.
It's really good. That was really good. So those are the ones that we got in this week. I also will real quick make a correction. Somebody notified me last week. Patrick sent in a name, and I had trouble pronouncing it. I think I said frog doubt about it, but he was saying forget about it.
Hey, stop remembering that. Forget about it.
I'm hopping here.
Patrick, my bad. And actually, by coincidence, Corey, who sent in "Hey, I'm jumping here," also sent in that same exact name. So
interesting. Also, we got a voicemail that I'm going to try to play here from the actual voicemail box. Let me see if I can play this.
Guys. Long-Legged Larry is a song by Aesop Rock. First name AESOP, last name Rock. And I'm pretty sure it's a frog in the video. So it doesn't actually have to do with Lawn Chair Larry, though that is a nice synchronicity. Wanted to give you that heads up. Check out the song by Aesop Rock, and also check out Kirby by Aesop Rock.
I think it's
Love
Aesop
ya.
Rocky, right?
Is it Aesop Rocky, or is that different?
Is there an Aesop Rock and an Aesop Rocky? Dude, it must suck.
Because Aesop Rock is the older one, though. I thought Aesop Rock was around first.
Oh, I believe
I might
that.
be wrong.
Man, wouldn't it be a bummer to be Aesop Rock, and you're like, no one will ever have almost the exact same name plus 1 letter and be married to Rihanna and be way more famous than me? Is that Aesop Rocky's dad, or just like some other guy in the movement, in the Aesop? Because that whole crew had a number of dudes that were Aesop. They were Aesop this, Aesop that, right?
So I'm looking this up to confirm, and so Aesop Rock, who is 50 years old, so the elder Rock,
that's old.
Is
Very old.
Pronounced Aesop, like I believe, like this is the Aesop Fables, AESOP Rock, and Aesop Rocky, the younger person who's more probably well known today. I think it's AS. The S is a dollar sign.
Sure.
AP. So I think that's like ASAP.
Right.
Rocky, ASAP, as opposed to Aesop.
Okay,
that
is a big difference.
That is a distinction.
Yeah. Or not a big difference. I'm sorry. I take the word big out of that statement, but it is a difference.
Right.
All right. Well, thanks. There's nothing better than a clarification coming in from a listener and me trying to clarify their clarification and being wrong. This is the circle of life, though. This is how we generate content. Is Now that listener will have to call back in and clarify
I was probably wrong.
my incorrect clarification.
You guys keep
So-
talking. I need to remove a slinky from my dog's mouth on the other
keep
side of this table.
seeing Andrew over there on the little riverside.
This is
like,
the-
little tail or little toy go by or something. It's adorable.
Yeah, well, it's sort of adorable, but this is the nightmare scenario that I was worried about. Like, Lucy is usually good, I think, for the morning session of a TBTL. But as we record this at a slightly different time on Friday,
yes, Friday,
she is in a different part of her day, and she is, I think she has too much energy to be in this room with me. And so literally everything is a toy, except everything isn't a toy. Everything, well, I know Slinkies are technically toys, but they're not dog toys, and I need to get this out of her mouth. So you guys go ahead for a second.
My question then, well, I guess maybe, John, we can just take
about,
a vote. Is there anything, I was going to say, maybe we just sort of wrap things up here since Andrew's dealing with a feisty dog and I'm dealing with rushing to the airport.
Rocky. Sorry, go ahead.
Wow.
Sorry, I heard it through the headphones. I had to join in. Go.
I'm wondering, should we go ahead and just kind of like wind things down here on this Friday show? What a powerful way to go into the weekend and then the TBTL-a-thon.
Well, I mean, I landed that joke pretty well, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, did
I
I
couldn't even
scream
tell
in
what
your
you
ears?
said.
I said wrap things up like Aesop Rocky.
Oh, I think
Like
you're thinking
rap.
I think you're thinking of Aesop Rock.
Wait, what's the difference? All right. sorry.
Unclear at this point.
All right, yeah, let's get out of here. I know you have
okay.
a flight to catch to get out to your wine country. You know, there's no whining in football.
But every June, wait, it's July now. But every July, Luke goes to wine country.
That's right.
I'm afraid at how much I like wine.
God, that line just goes through my head sometimes.
Well, listen, we shall see on Sunday. You talk about getting out and there being one flight. I am trying to fly from Sonoma to Cleveland on Sunday.
Oh my
and
goodness!
it is I would say theoretically possible. I have the tickets purchased for it. But it is going to take crackerjack timing. I'm leaving San Francisco at 6 a.m., which means the lift is picking me up in Sonoma at 3:15 a.m., landing in Seattle, changing flights, and heading to Cleveland. So
you're flying up to Seattle. And
there are no direct flights from the Bay Area to Cleveland on a Sunday.
wild.
Turns out that's not a big route.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why did we not do the Sonoma frog jump? That would have made more sense for everybody.
Well, because we were worried you were going to get too nostalgic.
Yes, too many
memories for you in
wine.
Sonoma, Andrew. So we got to stick to somewhere like Valley City where you have where there's almost no nostalgia for you.
Yeah.
So anyway, I will hopefully see you guys both on Sunday in Ohio.
Quick reminder before we sign off: sign up for the newsletter and sign up for the Zoom. Both free, both are high quality.
You can do it at tbtl.net.
Absolutely. Well, listen, safe travels, my guys. Again, we'll see. I hope to see you both on Sunday out there in Ohio, and then we will see all of you listeners Monday morning. And when I say see you, actually legitimately see you, because we're going to be live streaming the program. What time on Monday are we going to be?
It'll be
in the air?
1 p.m. Eastern time where we are. That's 10 a.m. Pacific time. And if you want to watch us and join the fun, there will be a YouTube video embedded at tbtl.net. You can just click on that, and it'll take you right through to YouTube, or you can just watch it right on the website at tbtl.net.
Or if you go to that link and it's not working, it means the box didn't arrive. I needed to find your local tin can that you can pick up and listen to the show through.
Exactly.
So,
Just put a cup to your ear.
Yep, we'll find out on Monday morning together. All right, we'll see y'all then. In the meantime, have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. And please remember, no mountain too tall.
And good luck to all.
Power out.